Unfortunately, it's a cloudy day right now. Not actually black with lights on like it might be for Halloween, but cloudy. It's about 3:30 or 4 in the afternoon. We are in a upper middle class neighborhood called Lyon Park, beside another one called Ashton Heights in North Arlington, where all the federal bureaucrats live. We're on Jackson Street. I think this is only the 400 or 500 block of Jackson Street, so we're going to do a little walking. Anyway, all these people have elaborate Halloween decorations. Some of the houses are actually cute too, but today the excuse for videotaping them is their Halloween decorations. Anyway, on this street called Jackson Street, the 600 block, it's about 2 blocks from here. I'm hoping that we will get there without taping a lot of boring stuff or taking too long to get there. The decorations become extremely elaborate, much more elaborate than this, and frankly even more elaborate than that. I actually asked some people who were decorating their houses if there was some kind of contest and if they gave out a prize, and he said no, that they just started doing it, and every year more people do it and they get more and more elaborate. The houses here are quite pretty in their own little way. It's kind of like Delray or Tacoma Park. It's a kind of crunchy granola neighborhood with these time-warped houses that look like they're out of the 50s. And occasionally people who do actually look like retired federal bureaucrats emerge out of them, who, are quite white-haired and go for little walks. And a lot of houses, like I would suspect this one, well, I might be wrong. There are occasionally houses you see that clearly don't have central air yet. And I'm sure they're all very expensive now, just because everything near here is expensive. I know a neighborhood that's not very far away, these houses would start out at $800,000. Not sure that they're all that much cheaper here just because we're closer to South Arlington. Anyway, sorry, we're getting too much real estate and not enough Halloween decorations. You can see that even here there are some Halloween decorations, but I promise you that about a block from here, they really, really get crazy. So for those of you who are bored with this prologue, you might want to skip ahead to like minute 3.5 or 4.5 of this video and just look at the back half of it. Here's somebody who's working on their decorations right now. In this block, it's actually a minority of houses, or half of them, that have decorations. And none of them have super elaborate decorations, although as soon as I said that, we get this house. I was here earlier today doing canvassing for Robert Sarvis for governor, and I noticed that the Terry McAuliffe people, the Democratic candidates, seem to have done no canvassing, but there were in fact a good number of people with McAuliffe signs, which I think is because they are all bureaucrats and lobbyists in this neighborhood and they live here. Then there were other people who, as I got up to their doors to leave things for Sarvis, I could see that there was stuff left for Cuccinelli, the Republican candidate, but like little teeny things left on the doorknob, and nobody actually had a sign. But I know the Cuccinelli people go around and pick out deliberately, they pick out registered Republicans. So that means that there were a sprinkling of registered Republicans, but none of them had signs. Then on the other hand, there were, we're still not to the really good houses, but there are some in about half a block. Then as you saw these houses with McAuliffe signs, but nobody had left McAuliffe literature. My interpretation of this is that it's like what's going on with Obama right now, threatening journalists and insurance companies to shut up and not criticize his failed healthcare reform fiasco. It's that the Cuccinelli people here are afraid to have a sign because if they work for the federal government, they would lose their jobs or not get promoted. And maybe if they work for a law firm or a lobbyist too. But the Democrats have no problem I'm going to move a service thing that I put on somebody's yard that blew down. The Cuccinelli people are afraid that their federal jobs will be attacked, but the McAuliffe people think that if they put a yard sign, they'll get promoted. That's what I think is going on. Now, given that I've said that, we're not actually seeing any signs just yet, but all around here on other streets with less festive Halloween stuff, I have seen them. They're two really good houses that are right across from each other. You see there's the pirate skeleton up above. These people are still doing their decorations, which seem to be kind of elaborate. I don't really know what he is. I wish it were either sunnier or darker, but somehow there were bright lights. But it's not, and I'm dead tired from having distributed flyers like the one on that steps for 3 or 4 hours and 5 hours the day before. And so it's this video, and I'm going to enjoy some lovely Carvel ice cream because the Carvel ice cream store is near here. I'm just time warped to being a child this afternoon. Because I took the day off to do political canvassing, and now I'm looking at and photographing Halloween decorations, and then I'm having Carvel ice cream. Okay, here's one of the really good houses. Here's a house with a jack-o'-lantern's mouth with teeth that you have to walk through to get in. These guys have a teeny bit of decoration. These guys have tons, and other people are photographing it too. Somewhere a little farther down, though, there are people who have just massive amounts. 2 houses. In fact, one of them, I was so covered that I thought it was actually a kind of derelict shell of a house. Houses are quite pretty. Oh, this is where the really good houses are. So we are going to be able to get this all into tenement tape. Apparently there's some kind of food drive here. I don't know what AFAC is. Armed Forces Families, maybe. Anyway. Here's one of the really good houses. This one actually, it's so covered in stuff, I thought it was an old junked up shell of a house. Probably because of this fence that I bet they've erected just for this. But that's not their fence year round. This is a really busy street. There are constantly people zooming up and down it. I don't know if they live here or they just like to zoom up and down it. Oh, wow, perfect. They put dry ice in this car. North Jackson Street Cemetery. I hope they make so much noise that they terrify any children who want to, this almost looks like a set of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Okay, the other house that was really well done was right across the street. Maybe it's not as well done. Oh, it's the one with the gigantic spider. There have been a lot of gigantic spiders on a lot of houses, but this one's particularly gigantic. But a lot of people have this webbing, but without the spider. So there's a little modernist house that has a lot of pumpkins on it. Anyway, I'm going to end this tape here.